The reason that we're here today, of course, is that we have some veterans that we want to award Quilts of Valor to. Now, Quilts of Valor was founded in 2003 by an Army mom by the name of Catherine Roberts. When her son Nate was deployed to Iraq, she, like many other Army moms before her, felt I needed to do something. She had a dream in which she saw a soldier, cold and alone, and what she called fighting those demons of war. And then in the next scene, she saw that same soldier wrapped in a warm, comforting quilt, far better able to fight those demons of war. So she founded Quilts of Valor, and it truly is about who you know, because Catherine knew one of the chaplains at Walter Reed Army Hospital, so she had an in. And the first Quilt of Valor was awarded to a wounded soldier in November of 2003 at Walter Reed Army Hospital. Now, since then, that small group of ladies has grown to an organization of over 11,000 registered volunteers. We know there's a whole lot more of them out there. It's also grown to include Quilts of Valor Canada and Quilts of Valor Australia, where they too are honoring their veterans with healing, comforting quilts. Although realistically, they spell it wrong, because they spell it V-A-L-O-U-R. We've tried to tell them, but you know, you got to pick your battles. That one's not it. So, since November of 2003, we have awarded over 357,000 quilts across the United States. Thank you. I personally believe it's called You Give a Quilter a Good Reason to Go Buy Fabric, and we are on it. Nothing will stop us. Neither snow, you know, we're kind of like the postman, neither snow nor hail nor dark of night, we will get fabric. We like that, yes. And we like the dark of night because then we can get it in the house and our husband doesn't see it. But we have awarded all those quilts. We've awarded them in all sorts of different places, to all sorts of different people. We've had the honor of awarding to those I call the babies, that look like they just got out of high school and just got off the plane. I had the honor last year of presenting to a gentleman who was 105 years old from World War II. Sharp as a tack, told me, if I tell you what I did during the war, I'd have to kill you. But back to our quilts. Quilts of Valor come to their recipients in many different ways. Sometimes it's a single person who has pieced the top. We all know that quilters take big pieces of fabric, cut them up into little pieces, sew them back into big pieces, quilt them. It could be the same person who has done the piecing, the quilting, the binding, and the awarding. More often, it's a group effort. Somebody pieces, somebody else quilts, somebody binds, and somebody has, of course, today we have the honor of awarding them. But know that no matter how many hands it may have physically passed through on its way to you, it comes with the thanks and appreciation of everyone involved in Quilts of Valor. Now, what we are going to do is we're going to bring our veterans up. We have for them a certificate, although Nicole, yours is coming in the mail. What can I say? We have a certificate that reads the following: the Quilts of Valor Foundation wishes to recognize you for your service to our nation. We consider it our privilege to do so. Though we may never know the extent of your sacrifice to protect and defend the United States of America, we award you this Quilt of Valor as an expression of gratitude from a grateful nation. We will give them their certificates. We show them their quilts. They get to see it first. Y'all are going to get to see the backs first. Then we'll show them. And then the important part of awarding a Quilt of Valor is to wrap their veteran in their quilt, give them a big hug with their permission, COVID appropriate, turn your head away. With their permission, give them a big hug and say thank you for your service and welcome home. So, We're going to actually start first with, is it Cindy and Nicole? If you'll come up, first you get to see it. Of course, Nicole knows. She picked it out.
It was on the wall of the Quilts of Valor booth.
Okay, now go ahead and show them. Walk this way.
I need a lot of help.
Yeah, we're not the tallest people in the world. Okay. Fold it in half. Yep. Okay, Nicole, step forward. They're going to come around behind you.
Why don't you come this way?
Once they figure out which way they're going.
It's a dance that we didn't rehearse.
You were supposed to stand still, Nicole.
Now you know what to do, huh? Thank you for your service and welcome.
Okay. Here you guys go. Now, while they're getting out, I want to point out the cases, the presentation cases of today. The embroidered white stars on this presentation case were made in the United States of America. Now, we all know about automation, right? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In these cases, these are flag fields with imperfect stars. You will find an imperfect star. They've never been sewn onto a U.S. flag, but are being honored nonetheless by being made into presentation cases. So, kind of a special thing. No flags were desecrated in the making of these cases. So, Cindy? There we go. Got it. Okay.
Come over here by your friend Nicole.
All right.
One more.
Yes, our one more veteran. This is one of those that was a single person, pieced the quilt, quilted it, bound it, and has the honor of presenting to a very dear friend. So Eric, if you'll come forward. Great back. Well, first off, you got to show them the quilt. God love panels. You're very welcome. Okay. Okay.
The dog takes.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
Welcome home.
She's the one who made it.
Okay, I am going to ask if the veterans would just share a little bit about their service. We'd love to hear it. So, Eric, talk to the mic.
Hi. I started with the Michigan Army National Guard back in 1999. I actually just retired 2 years ago after serving in the Army Reserves. Through my service, we have, in our unit, had sent soldiers to Afghanistan literally right after the attacks to do what we call entrenched training teams. I had trained soldiers to go to Iraq, to Afghanistan, and through my service, I've met people that I'll never forget who have sacrificed so much more than I have ever put to the ground. And I appreciate this recognition. I appreciate everybody else's service, and thank you very much for your support.
I'll stand in the middle. Okay. Cindy?
I went in '94 and the Air Force. I did 17 and a half years. Those 17 and a half years, I've got a chance to travel the world and been to not so many good places, but I've been to a lot of good places. And I went over to the second Gulf War during the beginning, and it taught me a lot about life.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I joined in '95 in the Air Force. I had a lot of good friendships, learned a lot about life, and just to appreciate the things that we do have here that many take for granted. The lifelong friendships, support through other veterans, through some unfortunate circumstances. I was medical retired early, but
Life moves on.
yes, absolutely.
Let's give them all a round of applause, please. Okay. Now, no matter how much you might admire the quilt, not you, them, you can't have it. Their names are on them. They have a label on them that has their name, today's date, who made the quilt, and so you can tell people, you can't have it, it's mine, got my name on it. And one last thing about Quilts of Valor. They are not meant to be folded up, put back in their case, put up on a shelf, and saved for a special occasion. They are meant to go on that recliner, easy chair, couch, wherever it is you spend your time. And when you're having one of those days, and those who've served know what I mean when I say one of those days, but when you're having one of those days, you wrap yourself up in your quilt, feel the thanks and appreciation of everyone involved in Quilts of Valor, and I'm pretty darn sure you're going to feel better. So thank you. It's been our honor and pleasure to truly say thank you for your service and welcome home.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank all of you for taking a few minutes out and recognizing our veterans for their years of service. So enjoy the rest of the show. Take care.